You think Brussels cannot tax you? You are wrong. They can, and they do. They just don't call it a tax. Instead, they use technocratic jargon and label it Market Allowance EUAs, ETS. Not following along? Don't worry, almost nobody is. This is deliberately engineered gibberish designed to make you accept the unacceptable. Brussels and the EU Commission is not allowed to levy taxes. Only the member states in the European Union can do that. But in the name of saving the environment, the Technocratic Priesthood in Brussels is taxing your right to breathe in the industrial world. How? They have created a digital coupon for the right to breathe life into the economy. This is essentially a trading system for carbon emissions. What is being traded is a permission to exist in the industrial world. The product being bought and sold is the European Union Allowance, EUA. To a layman, here is exactly what an EUA is. One EUA is a digital coupon that grants a company the right to emit 1 metric ton of CO2, or its equivalent in other greenhouse gases. If a power plant, a steel mill, or a cargo ship does not own enough of these coupons to cover every ton of gas it releases, it faces a ruinous fine, roughly 100 euros per missing ton, and must still buy the missing permit anyway. The Technocratic Priesthood, the Commission, is the only entity that can print these coupons. Every year they print fewer and fewer of them, making the right to operate more expensive for those companies that cannot function without carbon fuels. They must buy those EUAs. For those homes that must heat with oil or gas, they also must buy those EUAs. And here's a kicker. Since 2018, banks and hedge funds have been allowed to buy these permits. They don't have smokestacks. They buy the permits to hold them, wait for the price to rise as the cap tightens, and sell them for a profit. You think the extra cost for those fewer and fewer coupons is something else than a tax? Well, call it what you will, but it is. And this is actually illegal because it bypasses the constitutional requirement for fiscal unanimity. There was never a direct referendum on the ETS regarding the new carbon taxes, which fits perfectly in line with the modus operandi of the EU technocrats. The original EU ETS, covering energy and heavy industry, was a technical issue debated primarily among officials and industry insiders. That created the precedent. Recent changes, however, labeled ETS2, that put a price on carbon for consumers, have generated significant public and political backlash that had to be dealt with by the priesthood. Most taxpayers just discovered the existence of the ETS when it manifested as a carbon surcharge on their heating bill or at the petrol pump. It was only voted on by the European Parliament and the European Council. The ETS1 and ETS2 unavoidably increased the wholesale cost of electricity and industrial goods. The price is then locked with fluctuating market prices, not by a transparent vote in a local parliament. EU citizens, the unorganized many, often feel the cost is being imposed by an invisible hand, and the politicians and technocrats, the organized few, have cushioned themselves from culpability for the consequences of this tax's reverberation. Inflation, higher living costs, etc. Now the masses are paying a 300% premium to a system they didn't vote for, only to receive a one-time 10% social subsidy back from the same technocrats to buy heat pumps fuel install, all packaged and framed as European solidarity. By offloading the tax hike to a market, politicians can shrug their shoulders at the petrol pump and say, "It's the market, not us." It is the ultimate manifestation of the EU's method, making a mechanism of power so opaque that the masses, and even the MEPs, simply give up trying to understand it, leaving the organized few to run the machine in total silence. They count on you not connecting the dots. They count on you not seeing through their lies. But I am here to tell you, they count on your ignorance.